Buddy the dog, what are you doing, pal? How are you doing? He's excited because it's warm and it's windy. So we're gonna get going on our project here right after this. On a mission all the time. I don't know. He's got something in his little brain, some type of thing that he needs to be doing. Yeah. All right. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. That's Buddy the dog. And also the third character is the wind, because it seems to be in every video. But I think what we're going to do today is get retired. As you may recall in previous segments, we orangified this little CA, and it was here with absolutely zero capability front tires of holding air or anything else. They were garbage. And it came with, not really came with, I paid him extra, but he had 2 new tires. So I got the rims ready to go, and I think we'll start putting those on. And I think it would probably be easier if I would just put the rim on the tractor and then mount the tire onto the rim, because they're so narrow. It's just very hard to deal with tires when they're that narrow. So let me grab the right socket for this job, and we'll see about putting those rims on here. What are the chances I can get one back out by hand? Sure. All right, I'll grab some stuff and we'll be right back. All right, we're gonna try to set you there and see if that will hold. Sometimes the what am I trying to say? Yeah, that's what will happen. See, I've learned by now that sometimes when you think the camera's set up real nice, it's not really. And that was a good example. You fell almost immediately. Well, stupidity is doing the same thing twice and expecting different results, so that's what we'll do. I'm doing too many things at once here. See, I'm holding the rim in my lap, trying not to get it destroyed. And that's causing our slight issue. See, I thought it'd be neat if I didn't scuff it all up immediately, but apparently life has other plans. Hold it. Or not. There we go. Finally. Maybe. Sure. Oh, our battery's about dead. That's probably a good thing, because then we won't twist these off. All right, there's one. We're probably gonna have to go up before we even get started, because it looks to me like it ain't high enough anymore. All right, I got an idea. Sweet. Yeah, that sure was my idea, all right. Throw it totally off of the thing. We'll get the handyman jack and we'll start over. How did I not, I'm not surprised, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, well, conditions are worsening, but I did get it back up in the air. Now I'm gonna have to try to get water out of this tire because I think it's got water in it. So nothing is working correctly for some reason. Okay, we're ready for this fun task, which ain't gonna be fun for several reasons. For A, it's so narrow anyway. And for B, the thing is squeezed together, so it's gonna make for a problem. Also, I'm probably gonna have to get to where I can just sit on the ground, because this ain't gonna work. I'm up too high and I can't see what's going down. So, all right. Uncle and his cardboard creepers for the win. Now, if I do this right, I'll throw the tractor on my leg. Then they'll call me Peggy, because I'll have a peg leg, see? Like a pirate. How am I gonna do this with this tire flat? This is an interesting wrinkle on a problem. If I can get it started over the edge, then I'll have her licked. Maybe if I use this to hold it apart. Well, this sucks. This would be a perfect time. If I had a couple more hands, you know, I'd probably have her made, but I don't. So I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe I just need to go. Oh, this would be a, if Grandpa was here, he would know what to do, because he did this a lot. He mounted tires at the co-op. I guess I'm just gonna have to put it all the way on both halves, and then pull the other half I don't need off, because I can't get it any other way. I've never I guess another thing I could have done if I had been smarter is to leave it sit overnight with the tube, stuff the tube in it and inflate it, and get it where it was not this way, because this flat is ridiculous. This might prove that it was easier on the ground. I don't know. Usually they're not, but this one might be. Get on there. Now there's no reason to be this way. I think I'm getting it now. It just took a little bit of complaining, and that's one thing in life that's free, so you might as well enjoy it and complain. Look at that. Oh, it just took a little bit of being upset. There, now half is on. Jeez, that was a lot of work. Next thing is, okay, it's got the right size hole for the valve stem. I need to probably get my watch-a-me. I got another problem here that happened off camera. The little rubber seal in the cap stuck. All right, we're gonna put this in there. Remember, the blue stripe goes away from the valve stem. You know, it's a handy trick to know if you're getting your stuff wadded up or not. Like here, I'm getting it very wadded up. Come on. Okay. Let's just not freak out yet. All right, come on. Come on. Oh, we're struggling, but that's okay. What would life be if it was just easy? I also see there's still water down in there. So great. There. That was a struggle, friends, just to get it that far. So we're gonna do the right thing and not, you know, not put the holder thing on there. Little tiny tires are a pain in the canoodsin. And we're not out of the woods yet, see? We gotta get this outside lip of the tire put on without punching the hole in this tube. And that could be a struggle. Right. Now, it would be advisable to start that process away from the valve stem, because you need the room of the thing pulling its, I don't know how to explain what I'm talking about, but you need the room for the tire to be able to jump down in that groove. So you can't start on the valve stem side. It's going. It's going. Fear not. Just take your time so you don't punch a hole in the tube, because that really blows the big one when you do that. You get to do it all over again. Come on. Come on. Come on. Participate. There we go. Let's switch back to this side. Ooh, see there, I don't. The tube's kind of twisted there. We're gonna hope that it's okay. Almost. Alright, come on. Oh, Yahtzee. Okay. That is on. It should be ready for air. I got the air hose here, but I don't think I turned it on today. So let me get the stuff and things, and then we'll get this conquered. All right, about the time I get back, the camera immediately shuts off for lack of activity. But if we do this right, we'll push this valve stem into the tire and have to start all over. Come on, tire. This shouldn't take much because it's such a tiny tire. Chapow. Here it's gonna go. But I didn't use the soap. You didn't use soap. You gotta have soap. Yeah, you gotta have soap. You can't mount a tire without soap. All right. Sure. What you want to do is drop this valve core down in the dirt so that you get it all, you know, filled up with trash, because it seals so much better when you do that, you know. It really works good with leaves and sticks in it for it. And then you're going to immediately do the same thing, drop it. Hopefully the tube could find its happy place, because I'm over it. This is the final airing up, whether it likes it or not. I see that the water that was left in the tire is escaping. And we're gonna say the local co-op for the win. They gave away these little tire gauges at the winter banquet. So, a useful gift, you know? We're gonna call that good. Now the fun part is we get to do it all over again on the other side. But it looks pretty snazzy, does it not? All right. Come on, water. I think I pretty well got it, but yeah. Okay. All that stuff is so sloppy. Goes a little wild when you really get after it. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scratch it up as best we can. All right, come on. Come on, baby. Sure. Now the fun starts all over again, friends. I just love it so much. You're probably in the way on this one, actually, because this is much, this side's different than the other side. I had you stuck to the steering arm the first time. Oh, geez. Come on. Oh, you mama. Okay. What did we decide here? We were just gonna take them both. Is that how we finally did it on the other side? Okay. There we go. What you got to do is crush the tire with the top of your hand, and then you'll get it started, and it'll go. Just there. That went much better. Gateway Auto Butyl Tube, made in Korea. All right, we don't know if that's north or south, so sure. We'll put you there. Let's give you a different vantage point for this one. That way you can maximize the failure watching. Come on. Let's get our let's get our Brownstown in there, please. There we go. Come on. All right, we have the little tool this time, so let's go ahead and put that on. Oh, a plastic bag decided to put itself in the camera for no reason. Thanks, wind. Get in there. Get in there, Korean tire. Ooh, we don't want to do that. I bet we pinched a hole in it already. Son of a Knudsen. Boy, if we didn't, it's going to be a miracle. It was laying in the wrong spot. And that's why you don't want to go too far. You don't want to jam your tool in too deep, is what I'm trying to say. Come on. Come on. Come on, gentle. 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 Oh, this is not working good. Oh. There. That's what I wanted. The question is, how much damage is done? Well, we'll know when it goes flat immediately. But I probably won't be that lucky. It'll probably wait until like tomorrow and then be flat, so that it's even harder to get it off of there. All right, come on. I think we're on the downhill slope here. And I mean of life. Come on, pop up on there. Pop up on there. That water escaping is just water that was in the tire and it's getting pushed out by the tube. I think we're good to go on the bead seating back. Let's let the air out so it can find its happy place. Uh-oh, I hear air leaking. I hope it's out of my air hose. Oh, that's too much air. A little more. There we go. there. All right, now let's set it down on, let's set it back down on its wheels for the first time, and who knows how long that it's had inflated tires and not mangly flat tires. All right, what you're gonna wanna do is just throw it over, and then that saves you the step, the jack and all that stuff. But there it is, back on 4 tires that hold air and not outside air. Actually, yeah, correctly the way. So that's handy. I need to paint up the radiator and the starter and stuff like that and get it slapped back on there, and then we can start our process. I am bummed about one thing though. I think I made a boo-boo when I ordered this muffler. So apparently there's 3 kinds of mufflers for these, and I got this kind. We have problems anyway. I don't believe that this is supposed to be in there, so I'm probably gonna have to try to get that out of there, which probably ain't gonna work very good. Then you got the problem of this is actually supposed to go down in the manifold and be held on with clamp, and this is what they would call the through hood muffler, and I don't think I have the through hood hole. See, what would my muffler hole would be this one, and it ain't gonna go, and I'm not gonna cut a hole in it. So either I need to get me a different muffler, or I need to put this on, the hood on, and figure out if I can just get some type of clamp and set this here and clamp it like band clamp style. That looks kind of goofy, like it's too tall, but that might be an optical illusion. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know yet. If I could find somebody locally who needs this muffler to recoup some of my loss, that would be real handy. But I don't think that's what I'm supposed to have, and I'm not so sure that this one wouldn't have had that little ovally pancake thing. I need to ask Dirk at Mama Bear's Homestead and More to send me a picture of his hood, because he's got one of those, and see if it's just got that little round hole, if that means pancake, or if that means, I think they make one that looks like what I got, but it's got a longer leg so that it goes through the hole in the hood and the muffler sits on top of the hood. But I also question whether I'm gonna be able to get that out of there. Should have probably done that before I painted it, right? And then again, there's always the 4th and most inappropriate choice of, maybe I'll just buy a manifold for it. Why not spend more money on it? You know, it's supposed to be a simple project, but hey, sure. All right, so I need to paint that radiator and starter, and then I could get it back to a condition where it was kind of runnable. But I've been thinking about this charging. I really don't want to use a generator. I know they look original, but whatever. But I got this most honorable Chinese alternator that we got for the 1250 when I thought maybe I'd need this out the back set up to drive the Governor or whatever, and I don't know. But this would be a good project to use it on. So what I'm gonna have to do though, to make this play nice, I gotta have about that much space taken up in the bracket. Of course, it's not clocked quite right. I'll have to be like that. And so we got several issues. Number one is obviously taking up that space. Number two is the bracket's 5/16 hole. This is a sloppy mama of some kind. We're gonna have to figure out some kind of bushing to go in there to adapt from 5/16 to that. And I think what I'd like to do is find a long bolt to go through both of these all the way, and that'll make this more solid. You know what I'm saying. I guess I could, if worst comes to worst, get a bushing that took up that long space, right? I don't have enough hands from here to there, and then just use a bolt through the alternator. But it'd be better if it was through both braces of this, and then it would, I think it would hold it more solid. So I don't know, we're gonna figure on that a little bit. I'm gonna have to go to town to do that anyway because I don't have enough garbage. So If I do it right, I think it'll work. The nice thing is that pulley should play with that belt okay-ish. It's not quite like the original, but I think it'll go. These little alternators don't take nothing to go. So that's my next plan here, is finding an obnoxiously long bolt and a bunch of spacers and what have yous. And I'll probably take some measurements before I go so that I'm not just guessing in the breeze of what it should be. I also need to look up my carburetor and figure out what kit I need for that. So carburetor kit, I've got plugs and wires and a cap for it in town. So that'll make that better. We can make this better and put the starter back on, then we can start running our new cable and stuff that we need. And then we can bolt on that other sheet metal and stuff when we get it painted, because the wiring has to run underneath all of that, kinda, and it'd be easier to have it laid in place and then bolt the sheet metal on, I think, than try to do it another way. So that's what I'm operating on here. I'm thinking I'll take this alternator with me to town to figure out what combination of stuff I gotta do to make her go. But really right about there is where it needs to be, in line with the belts, maybe. Yeah, right about there. I can't capture that on the GoPro because the GoPro distorts reality because it's a wide view camera, so you probably doesn't look anything close to lined up on the camera, but that's about where it needs to be. So I need bushings for inside of those legs, and then I need bushings or spacers to take up the distance between the stuff. And if I can't find a long enough bolt, a piece of all thread I guess would do, you know. But I'm just thinking of ease of taking it back out sometime. You're gonna have a radiator over here, so you can't plan on putting the bolt through that way. You gotta slide it through from the back, you know. See, I think about stuff like that. Unlike a lot of engineers who built the stuff originally, they don't care, or especially engineers nowadays. I think about how hard will it be to fix this when it self-destructs later. So yeah, plus if we do this right, we're gonna have that fancy Chinese writing out there in the open where we can see it. That's nice, isn't it? So yeah, the only thing I can do is take this alternator to town and do some experimentation and see what I can come up with. But I bet you nobody's gonna have a bolt that long. I'm probably gonna have to make it, or I could potentially do two, or I could do whatever. But going through both pieces would definitely be the more solid option, so it's not putting a lot of stress on just one leg. But that would be nice. So I'm gonna get this stuff painted up, and then yeah, I guess we'll call this one here. Probably not very interesting, but we got the tires on and it shows us the vision going forward, and that's where we're headed. I want to keep this project plugging along in the background so that it's not sitting here for 8 months and nothing happens, you know. I want to get it running and driving again, and try to keep it driving and that fairly close to driving all the time, so that all I got to do is, you know, bolt on one piece and go again. That's why we're doing it the way we're doing it, because our time's very limited and springtime is upon us. So we're going to be into more important things here very shortly. So anyway, that's where we're going to leave this one. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.